Hi guys, Fets here from 11 Bravo Gaming to introduce a new series called Shoot, Move, Communicate. To our military, these are fundamental principles that are constantly taught and learned. And they apply directly to FPS gamers as well. So what we're going to do through this series is focus on these three principles across a variety of first-person shooters. Battlefield, Black Ops 2, Medal of Honor. We're going to look at one's ability to shoot accurately, gun control, mouse control, whatever you want to call it. The importance of being an accurate shooter in the game. We're going to look at one's ability to have good map knowledge, to move around the map, know spawns, know the routes, know the kill boxes, and basically just that awareness that needs to happen to be a complete player. And we're going to look at your ability to communicate effectively with those around you. This video is attack helicopter gameplay, Battlefield 3 Gulf of Oman, and I'm playing with a core group of gamers that I know very well. So we're going to get a focus on communication. You're going to get to experience some very solid tactical communication live and in-game. I'm going to cut to in-game audio here in a second and illustrate a communication aspect that I like. And what you're going to see is when these different aspects of the game happen, I'm going to drop a banner down from the top and I'm going to indicate which of these three principles that we're going to be talking about with that. So as we're talking about communication, I'm going to drop down a banner that indicates that I want you to focus on the communication aspect that's happening on screen, or the shooting, the gun skill that's going on screen. So I'm flying here with a Blueberry. I don't have a lot of communication, but I do have Wretched Cookie in the jet and Corrupt in a jet, and we're communicating. So what you're going to see in this live clip coming up is some communication with them about the status of the jets. And then also communication from Kremis on the ground with what he's experiencing, whether he needs help, and what's going on the ground. So I'm going to cut to that in-game here, and then I'm going to come back and talk to you some more.
Got blueberries in both jets.
Trevor's dead.
Oh, there's a tank.
Where I'm coming.
Right on Bravo. Got his repair guy.
You've got to be dead, right?
Yep. Rebuilt.
So basically what you heard starting off there was Wretched Cookie saying blueberries in both jets. It seems like it's not that significant, but it's good for me to know that I don't have a reliable jet pilot that's looking out for my best interest. Here real quick to point out the move banner drop down. It was a very smart move the way I flanked around those buildings and rocks to the right side to attack this APC. I get to come up with minimum exposure to put the first shots on him and then wrap around him faster and he can swing on me and finish him off. But real quick to finish on the communication, which I think is so important. It's good for me to know, or I need to know, that those guys are no longer in the jets, and that I can't rely on those jet pilots to care what's happening to me. They maybe are good jet pilots, the blueberries that are up there, but they're looking out for themselves more than they're looking out for my interests. So that's important there. And then you heard me transition to, or heard the audio transition to Kremis on the ground. He's the one calling out the tank, and that allows me to transition from worrying about air-to-air combat to my primary role, or what I think is my most important role in the helicopter, and that is air-to-ground anti-armor domination and supporting those guys on the flags. I need to stay alive in the helicopter, but it's just as important to support the ground. I've talked about that in other videos. So here you see an Igla takes me out. Iglas are going to become a huge issue, but that happens every time you do well in a chopper. Anyways, the good part about that is that it allows me to get back in the Viper. I was running the Viper this game, so I waited for it, and I take off without a gunner. I sat there and no one jumped in, but Wretched Cookie's able to get in with me, and now I have a gunner I can communicate with. You see the shoot banner drops down because this is where ultimately I won this encounter, because I'm able to put rocket shots on this enemy helicopter in two different situations where I don't even have a gunner to shoot at him, and that accuracy, that control, allows me to win that engagement instead of him. If you're not as accurate as you need to be in that situation, you might not come out on top. And it's fine. You know, it's just an example of something to work on. That's why it's important to have good accuracy sometimes, to constantly improve. One thing that I'd like to talk about with this and transitioning between video game titles, so I'm showing you Battlefield 3 here. Playing games like Call of Duty improve my speed and accuracy significantly. This is not a rip on Battlefield in any way. It's a twitch shooter. It requires fast movement, fast reflexes, split-second decisions. I mean, the fact that a couple 100 milliseconds of lag can cause you frustration in that game just really illustrate how fast the game is. And to be good at that and competitive at that game, you have to be fast. Battlefield, you can get away with being slow or slower. And when I came back to Battlefield after playing a lot of Call of Duty at launch, man, I was winning every gunfight because my speed and reflexes were at this heightened state where the guys that hadn't left Battlefield were just not accustomed to that speed necessarily, although you see it from all the top players. But for me, you know, I had been slow when I first transitioned back to Call of Duty. I struggled a little bit with it. But that's okay. That's just the importance of playing a variety of titles in a way. So here, we're going to see the move banner drop in. This is a great clip. I know that jet had just flown by me, and I see him wrap around. So I decided to take advantage of my maneuverability and duck in here. Let me fade the banner so you can see this jackass blow up in all its glory. I drew him in there perfectly. He hits the crane. He's not a very great pilot, or otherwise he wouldn't have. But then I put myself back in a position to take on that helicopter that I knew was coming in just from communicating with my teammates, watching my mini-map. That whole series of events, map knowledge and movement with the chopper were amazing there, perfect there. That's how they should work. I knew that crane was there. I knew those buildings were there that I could duck in. Just because I've flown, you know, this map, 100 hours on this map flying a helicopter, you know, it's what I love to do. And that practice and that expertise allow me to be extremely effective in that situation and just take advantage of the map and the terrain. So that's another big aspect of movement. That's huge in Battlefield. It's huge in the vehicles. We're going to talk about in future series how that comes into play as an infantry person, as a tanker. But map knowledge, I mean, I'd like to open a dialogue of these three principles on which is the most important. It's a very difficult thing to discuss. Is it more important to have map knowledge, as someone like Woody's Gamertag would always talk about when I used to watch all of his COD videos? You know, map knowledge would help him compensate for a lack of gun skill. And it can. If you just don't have that accuracy and you're just not that quick or twitchy, map knowledge can definitely compensate for that in a huge way. At the same time, communication leads to map knowledge. Knowing where your enemies are and where they're going on the map leads to you having that knowledge to make moves like that. So that's why I think these three principles are so important, and they just work together so well. You know, and in shooting is probably the least important of the communication and knowledge, but equally important, because if you lack knowledge, you're playing solo, someone surprises you, that twitch shooting skill, that shooting ability can compensate for that lack of awareness or communication that you might not have. So you can see how they work together there. Anyways, I got some really good in-game audio coming up right here. Take a listen. I'll be back in a little bit. 50, 75, 100.
Losing Delta. I'm gonna stay at Delta. We're losing it.
Lost Bravo Charlie. Damn.
Losing Alpha. Tank on Alpha. I'm gonna TV it.
Go. Jet on us. There he comes. Jet in front of him.
Yep, hits on him. He's disabled.
He just rams to him.
He bailed. Let's get him before he gets on the construction building. Heading to Charlie. Jet taking off.
Fucking.
Hey. Hostile.
Right in front of us. Underneath us. See a tank, 12.
Charlie. Launching TV.
Good hits on him.
Yep.
Fucking egg. I'm gonna wrap around here. Dead.
APC's down. Still losing Delta.
Rooftop. 12 o'clock.
Yep. Couldn't bail in time.
Palm Beacon Hotel again.
Hotel, got it. So there you guys go. Communication illustrated front and center. Huge aspect of why we do well in this game. Now this squad I have, Wretched Cookie, Cremis, Corrupt. You guys should know Corrupt. He's my partner on this YouTube channel. We play a lot of first-person shooters together. And we have been playing Battlefield together since Bad Company 2. We've been playing COD together since Modern Warfare 2. We play PC games together. Our cohesion as a unit is second to none. This leads to a lot of things happening intuitively in-game that just help us succeed. Now I recognize that not everyone is going to be blessed with a squad that you get to play together with this much and do this well. But what you can do is build your communication skills so that no matter which pieces you're plugging in, the communication can still be good. I can replace Wretched Cookie, Cremis, Corrupt with a dozen other guys on my friends list and have just as effective communication. Johnny B, Mooch, some other guys that I can pull in and know that because I have a certain communication style, leadership ability, that when I'm communicating with them in game, that communication is still there and it's still going to help us succeed. There may be things like what you see on screen now. Wretched Cookie bails to repair too early. I jump out, I say hurry up and get in, because I know he's got to get in to reset his out of bounds timer before he dies. Those things come intuitively to Wretched Cookie and myself. We fly together a lot. We've been flying together since Bad Company 2. He used to pilot, I used to gun. Now I do a lot of the pilot, and he's still an excellent pilot. So building that cohesion is very important. Anyways, I hope you guys have liked this video, and I can't wait to do more of them. These aspects are so important, and I just think there's a lot to be learned still, and it will let us learn it across multiple games. Here's another example of accuracy helping me dominate this jet without having to get a lock on. Love it. Anyways, bonus clip, my favorite way to capture a flag in Battlefield 3. Check it out, guys. See you later.
8 tickets. 7.
Objective has been neutralized. Repeat, objective has been neutralized. We have spotted an area of operation. Proceed with caution. We have taken the objective.
Left side should have